So I now want to shift back to this Aaron Rodgers drama and saga, whatever you want to call it. Look, there are rumors out there that Aaron Rodgers is not happy with the current Green Bay Packers front office. And there's also been some rumblings out there that Aaron Rodgers personally wants the current Green Bay Packers general manager, Brian Gutekunst, fired. And look, I don't know if that's true deep down, if that's the case regarding Aaron Rodgers in the front office. Look, I don't know what to believe or what not to believe just because Adam Schefter came out and pretty much said, I dropped this whole Aaron Rodgers bombshell with no true sources. He said that on the Dan Patrick Show. So look, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's real, what's not real. Personally, if I were to take a side, I'd say Aaron Rodgers actually is not that big of a diva to where he's going to want the general manager to be fired, where he's not going to return to Green Bay. I think this whole Aaron Rodgers situation can be salvaged. However, I will say this. Whether it's true or not, if Aaron Rodgers wants Brian Gutekunst fired, firing Brian Gutekunst is the best move for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers going forward if Green Bay wants to compete for Super Bowls and actually win them. That might be a controversial opinion, but it's the God-honest truth, people. Brian Gutekunst needs to go. And if the Green Bay Packers have a choice between Aaron Rodgers and Brian Gutekunst, the current Packers general manager, they must choose Aaron Rodgers. And if they don't, they will regret it for a long, long time. Okay? Now, are they going to fire him? Fire Brian Gutekunst? No, they're not going to do it. Okay? Because that's just not something Green Bay is going to do. But listen, if Aaron Rodgers is happy, it's better for the Green Bay Packers. Because, see, if you can keep one of the 5 best quarterbacks in all of football on your roster, you do whatever you need to do to make that happen, okay? And here's the thing about Brian Gutekunst, okay? Brian Gutekunst is not a great general manager. He's an average NFL general manager at best to me. Based on what I've seen, the Green Bay Packers, they've had some problems navigating the salary cap since Brian Gutekunst has taken over as NFL general manager. And it seems like every year it's like, oh, Green Bay, their salary cap is handicapping them. And that's Brian Gutekunst in the front office being irresponsible because the New Orleans Saints don't have an issue with this. The New York Giants don't have an issue with this. The Los Angeles Rams didn't have an issue with this when they paid Jared Goff a ton of money. So for the people out there saying, oh, Aaron Rodgers is taking up all the salary cap. Well, Jared Goff took up a bunch of the salary cap with the LA Rams. They still found a way to make a ton of moves to improve their team. The Pittsburgh Steelers have this issue. The Seattle Seahawks, another team that paid their quarterback, they don't have issues making moves for Russell Wilson. This team has no clear direction under Brian Gutekunst. Ever since 2018, Brian Gutekunst to me has been underwhelming as an NFL general manager. 2018, he goes all out and spends all his money in free agency. And then the very next year, after the Packers showed they can become a Super Bowl caliber team one day by going to the NFC Championship game, he just nails in the coffin and says, hey, we're going to draft a quarterback. We're going to prepare for the future. And I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing? Why? Go all in. Help Aaron Rodgers and this roster, because the harsh reality is Green Bay prepared for the future and it came back to bite them in the playoffs because they made no improvements to their team. And fast forward to this year, you have this whole Aaron Rodgers saga going on. And now, guess what? The best free agent signing the Packers made this year was signing Blake Bortles, a backup quarterback. That's the only free agent signing they made this year when the team clearly has holes. They're not better than Tampa Bay. They're not more talented than the Rams. They're not more talented than the 49ers. They need to improve this roster, and Brian Gutekunst hasn't done it. And he has not brought in enough good players. Listen, Jair Alexander, Elton Jenkins, and Darnell Savage are really good players. But he's had 3 drafts if we're not counting this past draft. I'm not going to count this past draft in 2021 because we don't know what Eric Stokes is going to be. We don't know what Josh Myers is going to be. We don't know what this draft class is going to bring to the table. So the only thing I can evaluate is the draft that Brian Gutekunst has put to the table. And in 3 drafts, he's drafted 3 great players. Outside of that, it's been a bunch of busts and a bunch of average marginal players. Rashawn Gary has not been worth a first-round pick. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you can find someone on the free agency block to do what he does, run deep, catch a couple of touchdown passes, but also drop key passes as well. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is Brian Gutekunst is not a good enough general manager. And the Green Bay Packers front office, they're not doing enough to get the most out of Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay's organization is good with being good enough. And Brian Gutekunst is the problem in Green Bay right now. And if the Green Bay Packers truly care about Aaron Rodgers and this roster and winning a Super Bowl going forward, they will make changes to the front office. They will fire Brian Gutekunst and they will choose him over Aaron Rodgers. They're probably not going to do that because Green Bay's organization is clueless and they don't know what to do as far as, treating a franchise quarterback the right way. But hey, that's just my 2 cents, and you can agree to disagree, but it's the harsh reality, and even diehard Packers fans know this is true. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.